Psalm 56 verses 8 through 11 says, "You have taken account of my wanderings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Then my enemies will turn back in the day that I call. Thus I know that God is for me. In God whose word I praise, in the Lord whose word I praise, in God who I put my trust, I shall not be afraid. What can man do to me?" Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 6-month reading plan through the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 56, and I encourage you to read that psalm. Well, Paul expressed the exact same feelings as David did in Romans 8:31 when he wrote, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" If the creator of our universe has his backs, then, so to speak, nothing can be done to us, and he will protect us from anything and everything. Now, on occasion, we've spoken about various martyrs in the early church and in the modern church as well. These men and women understood God's providence and his ultimate protection. They also understood that everything occurred that occurred in their lives was because God allowed those things to occur. Now, every one of the apostles, with the exception of John, died a martyr's death. During the 6th and 7th centuries, there were numerous believers who were put to death because of their theological positions. One of those men was a man by the name of Maximus the Confessor, who actively wrote against what the emperor believed. His right arm was cut off and his tongue was pulled out of his head because he would not stop speaking and writing the truth. We should not be afraid of telling the truth. We should not be afraid of accurately saying what is in the scriptures. We should not be afraid of making a stand for what we believe. That being said, I'd kind of like to make the point that we do not have to be abusive in the way that we say things. Jesus was very clear in his conversations with those around him. With religious leaders who should have known better, he was always patient, as he showed in John chapter 3 with Nicodemus. But then there are times when we need to be very clear about what we believe and why we believe it. God has our back, so to speak. Nothing can happen to us which has not already been seen by God. Our goal and our duty is to tell others about Christ and make disciples. If that brings us physical harm, then God understands and will protect us. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.